I have a very important subject to discuss with you. It's called How to Be Successful in Sales. I've got 3 simple steps, and I think you'll find them interesting. If you follow these 3 steps, I think I can promise you that financial income will not be your problem. I've had a unique experience sharing ideas around the world, and I talk to a lot of salespeople from all kinds of sales backgrounds, people from various companies, handling various products, various services. And it's one of the important questions I get, how to become successful in sales. First of all, Mr. Schoaf, the man who helped me to change my life when I was 25 years old, taught me that success in sales was a very worthy objective. He said sales will get you the kind of income you want, and you'll learn a lot of lessons about people and about life and lifestyle if you get involved in sales, and I found out that that was true. So sales is a very worthwhile project to work on. The art of persuasion, getting people to buy, getting them to change, getting them to act, getting them to respond. And if you'll follow the 3 simple steps I've got for you to consider today, I think you'll find things will go much better for you if you happen to be involved in a sales career. So let me get right to it. The 3 fundamental steps for being successful in sales. Number 1 is very simple, and I don't know any substitute for it. The first one simply says, talk to lots of people every day. Sure enough, when I talk to someone who's involved in sales and I say, how are you doing? And this person may say, well, things aren't going too well at the moment. I'm not doing very well in my sales career. My first question always is, how many people did you talk to yesterday? And I find that sure enough, the person, instead of giving me this figure that I can jot down, how many people they talked to yesterday, they give me a story. They tell me that they had some places to go and they had some things to do and some things came up and so on. So no, they didn't talk to anyone yesterday. And I say, well, we've already identified the problem. Because the first step to success in sales is talk to lots of people every day. And then at the end of the day, it's very important to do one more thing. Jot down how many people you talk to. Just put a little number down somewhere in your journal. I talked to 10 people today. I talked to 5 people today. I talked to 3 people today. However many. Just keep track. It's a good idea to keep track of all the numbers, because just like a baseball player, to be successful, you got to know your batting average. You got to know how you're doing. Your contacts versus your presentations. Presentations versus the close or the actual sale. And how much money you're getting. You've got to keep track of all of those figures, because figures tell the story. And the figures don't lie. And there's one thing we don't want to do as we go through life, and that's kid ourselves. A delusion is probably one of the worst diseases to suffer. The guy keeps walking west looking for the sunrise. I mean, he just doesn't know, he doesn't understand. But this is the first fundamental for success in sales. Talk to lots of people every day, and at the end of the day, keep track of the numbers so you can go back over last week, you can go back over last month's numbers, and find out where some of the problems are. Okay? Now, if you talk to lots of people every day, I can promise you 2 things will happen. For sure. Number 1, you're bound to make sales if you talk to enough people. Even if you're just getting started in your sales career, or you just started for some new company, selling some new products, and you're not very good at it at first, people will still buy if you talk to enough of them. Because I have found that some people buy for the strangest reasons. Honest. So if you talk to enough people, you'll find a whole variety of reasons why people will buy, and you'll have a chance to make sales. Some people buy out of sympathy for the salesperson. They really don't want to see your kids starve. And if you make a sincere presentation, even if it's faulty, somebody will buy just because they're benevolent. They want to help somebody, and you happen to be the next person along. So if you talk to lots of people every day, sure enough, you'll find some people that will buy because they're sympathetic. Okay? Now, some people buy for other strange reasons. Some people buy just because they have the wherewithal to buy. If I'm talking to someone and I know they're a person of means and they say, "Why should I buy your product or your service, Mr. Rohn?" I simply say, "Well, because you can." I talk to people all day long who can't, but you can. So let me have your check. And sure enough, some people, just because they have the wherewithal to buy, will become a good prospect for a customer. So if you talk to lots of people every day, you're bound to make some sales. Even if at first your presentation was so bad you just went around all day saying to lots of people, you wouldn't want to buy anything, would you? Sure enough, somebody's going to say, "Well, maybe I would. What are you selling?" And that'll get the process started. So if you talk to lots of people every day, you're going to find some people that will buy your product, that will buy your service. But that's the key. Talk to lots of people every day. Now here's the second thing that will happen. If you talk to lots of people every day, you're bound to get better. See, when you do something over and over and over again, your skill increases. When I first started lecturing about 15, 16 years ago, I will admit to you I wasn't that good at it. In fact, the first speech I gave, I stood up to lecture, and my mind sat back down, if you've ever had that problem. I opened my mouth and nothing came out. My knees were knocking together. The sweat's pouring off my face. I'm shaking like a leaf. It's called terror, in case you haven't tried it. So that first one wasn't that good, but sure enough, I got up the courage to do it again. And when I did it again, it was easier. When I did it again, I got better. And now I've been lecturing constantly for the last 15, 16 years, and I've gotten better at it. And I can promise you that if you will practice your presentation, practice is just as valuable as a sale. Let's say you are just getting started and you talk to 10 people, 9 say no, and 1 says yes. The one that says yes is important to your financial success, but the 9 who say no are important to your personal progress, called practice. Because the more you practice, the better you will get at the job. So the first question here is, how long do you want it to take to get good at what you do? If you don't want it to take long, talk to lots of people every day, not only for the results of sales, but for the results of progress. And then, of course, when you get started, talking to lots of people every day, you can employ what we call the law of averages. And the law of averages will work for anyone. If you do something often enough, you'll get a ratio of results. If you're getting started and talk to 10 people and only 1 says yes, you've got a ratio going called 1 out of 10. And the unique thing about the ratio is once it starts, it tends to continue. If you talk to 10 more, sure enough, you'll get another one. If you talk to 10 more, you'll get another one. It's that uncanny thing called the law of averages. Now you might say, well, 1 out of 10 isn't that good, but at first you don't worry how good it is. You just get the ratio started. Then when you know you've got a ratio like 1 out of 10, see, you can start to compete. If I just joined the company and I can only get 1 out of 10, and you've been there for a while, so you can get 9 out of 10, if we have a contest, you and me, I will win. And the reason is because during the month, if it's a contest for a month, I will talk to 100 people and get 10. And see, if you're so good at it, you've probably only talked to 10 people and you've gotten 9. But sure enough, at the end of the month, I've got 10 and you've got 9. I win. I simply make up for in numbers what, first of all, I lack in skill. So that's number 1, both to learn and to grow and to get results. Talk to lots of people every day. There is no substitute for that in being successful in sales. Now here's the second step to be successful in sales. The second step is be real nice. I don't know any substitute for that. You've got to learn to be real nice. Attitude makes the difference in how these numbers finally work out, called progress. In affecting other people with words, we found something very interesting in studying communication. It's 80% what you feel and only 20% what you know. It's not so much what you say as how you say it. Attitude makes the difference in results. Attitude makes the difference in the quality of life. Attitude makes the difference in the result in success in sales. It's how you feel. Most people are interested in how you feel, not just what you know. Your feelings of sincerity, your feelings about other people, your feelings about yourself, your feelings about the future, your feelings about the product. If you are positive, if you feel good, if you have a good personality, if you've worked hard on yourself, and now you make the presentation, you can't believe the difference that it will make. Practice being real nice. And I say practice because sometimes there isn't call really for being nice. When the weather isn't nice and your problems are heavy, we have a tendency to go on the negative side. But if you'll resist all of that and be nice when the weather isn't, be nice when other people aren't, be nice when the circumstances really seem to be going against you. If you will practice that daily, working on your attitude, because that makes the greatest difference in how your sales ratio finally works out. Practice being real nice. It means learning to work harder on yourself than you do on your prospect. Most salespeople say, I've got to work hard on my prospect, but see, that isn't where it's at. You've got to learn to work hard on yourself. Work hard on your personality. Work hard on your language. Work hard on your style, your presentation style. Work hard on learning how not to talk too long, not to talk too little, but making it just right. And make sure you understand other people's problems and difficulties. In sales, we learn when someone has a problem, you recognize it. You say, John, I can understand how that feels. I've been there. I know what it's like not to have the money. I know what it's like to have a difficult time making the decision. I've had those times all through my life. Understanding, sympathy, awareness, sincerity, style, commitment, courage, excitement, being positive. Those are all the elements that really changes the ratio in sales. So number 2 is so important, being real nice. Now here's the third step to being successful in sales, and I think you'll agree with me as to the importance of this one. And number 3 is give good service. There's no substitute for good service. At the end of the day, it's not a bad idea to jot down your grade for the day for service. At the end of the day, just take a little time to think about the day and say, would you give yourself an A today for service? The people that you've sold to, did you follow through? Did you write them a little note? Did you say thank you on the telephone? See, the real work begins after you've made the sale. When the prospect is already on the file, or the customer is already on the file, now you've got to take the time to make sure you render good service. And see, that's where the big money is. The big money is in taking care of the people that you sell to. Excellent service leads to multiple sales. One good customer, properly taken care of, will open doors for you you can't open by yourself. They'll get you to see people you could never see on your own. Somebody well taken care of. So at the end of the day, contemplate, did I get an A today for service? Did I get a B? Was it a C, sort of average? Was it D, not too good? Was it an F? Wasn't my day? Make sure you have a good plan for rendering good service and taking care of what you start. And if you'll follow that important step, service, concentrate on that. Do all the little things that most people don't do. Write the notes most people don't write. Make the calls most people don't make. Do the smiling most people don't do. Take care of the things most people don't take care of, the little details. If you'll make that part of your sales program, service, follow-up, contact, making sure you keep in touch, call, leave, the difference it'll make in your overall sales effort. So if you'll follow those 3 steps, talk to lots of people every day, there's no substitute for the numbers. Pass out your business cards, make the contacts, make the calls, stack up the numbers. If you'll do that, and number 2, practice attitude. Make sure personality and style and feelings and awareness and compassion and understanding is the major part of your communication process and your sales process. If you'll work hard on that, then if you'll find ways to give good service, not miss anything, take care of all the details, you will find that your success in sales will start to grow and your career will be promising beyond anything you can imagine. I want to thank you for giving me this time to come and visit with you. It's only been a few minutes, but I hope that what little we've had to say on this subject of sales will be important to you. And if I have a chance to see you again, if I have a chance to meet you again, I'll be happy for that. Make sure you're writing a good chapter this year in the storybook of your successful life. A chapter others might want to read someday. A chapter that'll be preserved. Something that your children will be proud of. Something that you'll be proud of. Make this an important year for you. Really pour it on. Stack up the numbers. Do the changing and the growing necessary. Concentrate on service, and you'll be successful. And here's 4 good words to take home. 1 is absorb. Develop the skill and the ability to absorb everything. Be like a sponge like you've been today. This has been a good, serious group. I appreciate that. You've worked as hard as we have up here on this platform. You've rolled up your sleeve and you've gone to work and you've taken notes, and I appreciate that. Absorb everything you can. Absorb the sights and the sounds and the color. Guess what you're going to want to do? Go back home and invest this experience into other people's lives, and you can't invest it if you haven't got it. So I'm asking you to appreciate the color. I'm asking you to appreciate the auditorium. I'm asking you to appreciate what's going on here. I'm asking you to appreciate each other. Soak this all up. Soak it all up. It's called absorb, absorb, absorb. Then when you get back home, you can give out, give out, give out. And you'll have an extraordinary effect on the people that you reach out and touch. Here's the next one. Develop the ability to respond. That's what got me almost 6 years ago. Mark and Larry made that call. I responded. It touched me. The vision they gave me, the story they gave me, the pictures they painted, the numbers they gave me, what we could do together, the team we could build, dominate the industry, walk head and shoulders above anything else that's out there, have an extraordinary adventure that's only been given to a few, a chance to walk the summit, got me, touched me. Now I'm asking you, however, not only to be touched with the summit numbers, the 400 million, I'm asking you to be touched with the smallest of people's challenges. Don't just be touched with the challenge. I'm asking you to be touched with the problem. Let people's problems get to you. Let people's problems touch your heart this year like never before. Be touched. Let life touch you. Don't let it kill you, but let it touch you. The problems that are out there, people struggling with their economy, struggling with their health, struggling with their future, I'm asking you to let that get around your heart. Let it do something to you. Don't go untouched. Don't go unmoved. When you walk out of here, open yourself up. Don't build up the walls. The same wall that keeps out disappointment keeps out happiness and opportunity. Take the walls down. Let yourself be touched by what's going on out there. Let sad things make you sad, as well as happy things make you happy. Let your heart get touched, and you'll have good hands then to take this product to the marketplace. Here's number 3. Develop the ability to reflect. Long after this session is over, I'm asking you to go back over it one more time. I'm asking you at the end of the day, go back over your day. I'm asking you at the end of the week, go back over your week. Make that week more valuable. At the end of the month, go back over your month. At the end of a conversation, go back over the conversation. How did it go and what did you do? Learn by reflecting. I call it run the tapes again of your own experiences. And you say, why do that? Here's why. To develop the extraordinary ability to gather up the past and invest it in the future. What a next year you could have if you pay more attention this year, soak it up, gather it up, and reflect at certain times what's going on and what's happening. And this year will take a more powerful place in your experience. And then when you get ready to deliver in 1993, people will not believe the words you've chosen. They will not believe the heart and soul that you've mixed with words. They won't believe the power you've got. A few simple things here under getting better. Then here's the last one, and that's to share. We've got this extraordinary opportunity now. Let us not keep it. Let us share it. Let us reach out with a long reach, a strong reach, an unprecedented reach. Let us reach out and touch people not just with our opportunity. Let's touch people with our lives. Let's touch people with our experiences. Let's touch people with our heart and soul. Let's don't just touch people with a marketing plan and a distributor kit. Let's touch people with their health, yes. With an opportunity, yes. But here's a commitment I'd like to have you make to me. Let's help people with their lives, not just their health. Let's help people with their lives, not just their income. Let it be said, if they were around us 1 week, 1 month, or a lifetime, that when they got around us, not only did we talk about money, not only did we talk about product, we talked about life. We talked about getting better. We talked about becoming all that you can become. We talked about picking up a challenge. We talked about not settling for less than you can possibly be. Let's do that. Let's develop those abilities.
Well, especially now that we're as big as we are around the world, are counting on what we do. At home office, they have to be careful. They have to be disciplined. It's easy for the person who ships the product from Herbalife says, oh, well, I'll wait until tomorrow to ship it. And then they go home and sleep like a baby. But the distributor who's waiting for that product doesn't sleep that night, or doesn't sleep when the product doesn't show on time. But if everybody will have the discipline to say, I will do the best job I can. I will make mistakes, of course, because we're all human, but I'll try to remedy those mistakes and do the best job I can. That kind of self-discipline that understands how important your part is in all of the functions that work. Coming to work on the set here, HBN, there's so many people that play a part. And each one of the parts that are played is necessary to put on the broadcast, make it viable, make it real, make it powerful. Any couple of them missing, and it would be a disaster. But all of it put together, and it works like a charm. Each person developing the self-discipline to do their part, do their job. Here's one more, and that is the power of extraordinary performance and demanding of yourself excellent results. This is so important. If you want to live extraordinary, you must do extraordinary. If you want an extraordinary income, you must do extraordinary things. If you want an extraordinary fortune, you must go with the demands of what it takes to have that fortune. Mark has made such a fortune, it's almost beyond comprehension what the numbers really are. But guess what he has the satisfaction of knowing? He earned it all. If he'd have been lax in the performance, Herbalife would not be here these 18 years later. Herbalife would have been a footnote in multi-level history. But because he performed year after year, the 3rd year and the 5th year, and the 7th year and the 10th year, and the 12th year and the 15th year, and now performing well in the 18th year, I'm telling you, that's what makes it such a viable fortune for Mark personally, of course, because he did the job. If we would ask of ourselves that kind of performance, and you've got to ask it of yourself. You know, I can't ask it of you. I would try to inspire you. I would try my best to share with you what it might taste like, what it's like to finally make your fortune. It happened for me. But here's what you must do. You must demand it of yourself. Society does not demand that you not have a heart attack. But if you want to escape having a heart attack, you must demand it of yourself. Society doesn't demand that you take Herbalife and improve your health. You have to demand it of yourself. Society doesn't demand that you jog around the block every morning. But if you want good health, you must demand it of yourself. Society doesn't demand that you read a couple of books a week and improve your intelligence and your knowledge. That you must demand of yourself. Society does not demand that you build a financial wall around your family nothing can get through. That's not a demand of society. But you must demand it, if you wish it, you must demand it of yourself. Society doesn't demand that you learn a list of 10 skills in order to ensure your own future and the future of your family. Society doesn't demand it, doesn't require it. It is not a law. But if you want the benefit, you must demand it of yourself.